On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Number of couples that met their spouse on social media. So those people didn't live nearby them. They weren't an option proximity wise. So social media does give you more options because you're able to interact with more people. Now, obviously, if you're feeling like, I don't know why we're like acting like this hasn't been a study already in terms of like what scientifically happens to the brain when you see likes, like the dopamine, when you see likes and comments. Like it's been studied. So obviously if you're getting a lot of those, it inflates, the perception of what will actually transpire in real life. But it doesn't mean that it won't.
But you know what, Kayla, this goes back into what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah. People want to just talk to you and feel like, oh, let me just do it in an Instagram DM or whatever. And they have more webos in a DM than they do in person.
Has social media convinced people they have more options than they really have?
I just said that.
And Logic, when you said that, I wanted to respond to you actually, because I definitely think that social media and just access to, the internet, news feeds, just being able to see what everyone is doing all the time, gives people like this illusion that they have so many options, but those aren't really like necessarily their options. So then they end up in this false like paradox of choice situation, even though those aren't choices that they even have. So like Logic, when you were saying that earlier, I was gonna respond to that in that way, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Not only that, I agree with Kay.
Good wives right now, by throwing away their cell phone and ripping out their TVs, they will become excellent women over fucking night. Because now they will not have niggas to look at on Instagram and be like, oh, yeah, little baby got a new car.
I like you talking about little baby.
That's who they like.
All right, go ahead. I know you're trying to speak on it. Go ahead.
No, to what Kay was saying, to add on to that, there's a lot of people putting on a facade online, right? They want to show that they flashy. They want to show they got these cars that they probably don't even got and running off a Turo. They probably ain't got no dang bed frame. So social media can be a whole different type of facade, pretending like they taking trips, but probably taking it from someone else's IG. So it does sometimes, looking at it, a lot of people compare lifestyles and say, hey, I want to do this. Let me try to keep up with the Joneses and try to pretend that I'm this person, knowing that you probably still living with your mama. So
and meanwhile, people watching are looking like, oh my goodness, look.
And look at her lifestyle. I wish I had that man. Now you don't know that man could be beating her. So
apartment got two windows.
Don't believe everything on social media. That's all I'm saying. Because people be looking all happy, go lucky, and then they divorced. And she was like, no, he was doing this, or he was like, nah, she was cheating on me. So don't get social media thinking it's all 100% all happy and bubbles over there. But
and now that it's an industry like content creation, all this, people are monetizing this and making money off of it. They're gonna give whatever people are trying to see. So, like I think Logic was saying that earlier about the content creator jobs and all of that, that's like become more popular as of, the past however many years. So people are going to show whatever they need to show to get whatever they're trying to get, to Q's point and to what Logic was saying earlier.
Hey, fellas, y'all better start Googling up these women before y'all commit to them.
Not Google. That's a fact.
Hey, Toy, you want to speak on this?
Yeah, so I do think social media makes people think that they have more options. A lot of people are comparing their lives to others, and we already know comparison. That's just the devil's work right there. You don't do that. A lot of times you just have to focus on like what's in front of you, what you have. I mean, if you looking at the next person thinking, oh, well, that can make me, nothing is wrong with being motivated by something, but just thinking that there's so many options out here. Like you have so many freaking chances. I don't agree with that. I don't think people should live their lives like that when, I don't. But I do believe people do that, especially with social media, because you have so much in your face. You see people taking trips, all these celebrities. That's why I don't even follow majority of celebrities, because all they doing is just posting all these, things like, life is great and grand, but majority of these celebrities are receiving things because it's brands and these companies want them to show these items off so people like us can go and buy them. So I don't think people should look at what they see and compare their life to others. I just don't think that's healthy.
That's a fact. They getting it for free. Sorry.
And these people be on these trips, man. All these girls be like, girls trip, be 80 of them in one room, half of them sleeping on the floor. Some of your toes ain't done. You know what I mean? Wigs peeling back, bro.
Wait a minute.
Ladies, get that. Are they having a good time?
I will say
I could not have a good time with 82 girls in the room. I'm good by myself. I'm getting a room by myself.
Sacrificing for grams. That's what they doing.
Like,
people front for the gram. They really, really do. A lot of people front for the gram. I mean, women even do it with the way pictures are taken, hitting certain angles, But yes, indeed. I mean, I don't. I don't do the back shots. But
hey, girls taking pictures going to Mastros, knowing that someone else taking them out, but they're not getting the man in the picture. Girl, you're not even paying for that. Let me see who you with.
Life right now is like a huge facade for some people. It's sad. I mean, look, I'm not saying that some people really not living good lives. Some people really are. Some people are really living amazing lives. Like, nothing is wrong with that, but just don't compare your life to somebody else and think, oh, my life is horrible because I'm not living how they're living. No.
Trust.
Don't do it.
All right, Miss Kayla, what are your thoughts about it?
It depends.
Depends on what? Safe.
A number of things. I mean, I do think that social media has given people more options that they ever would have had without it. So a part of the thing is kind of like, but then based on the attention that you get on social media, that can also be a facade as well. So I know a number of couples that met their spouse on social media. So those people didn't live nearby them. They weren't an option proximity wise. So social media does give you more options because you're able to interact with more people. Now, obviously, if you're feeling like, I don't know why we're like acting like this hasn't been a study already in terms of like what scientifically happens to the brain when you see likes, like the dopamine, when you see likes and comments. Like, it's been studied. So obviously if you're getting a lot of those, it inflates, the perception of what will actually transpire in real life, but it doesn't mean that it won't.
But you know what, Kayla, this goes back into what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
People want to just talk to you and feel like, oh, let me just do it in an Instagram DM or whatever. And they have more webos in a DM than they do in person.